What is up, boys and girls? So it is 9:19 p.m. It is getting pretty late, but that's a good thing because that means we are getting closer and closer to our Cyndaquil Community Day. Depending on where you live in the world, your Community Day could be starting any minute, or it could have already passed, depending on when you're watching this video. Of course, Cyndaquil Community Day is going to be a little special because of the rewards and how they like to switch them up every other community day or whatever. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of neat tricks. I wanted to make a short, sweet kind of infomercial. Are you looking to maximize your chances at getting a shiny on Community Day? Are you looking to get the most Stardust on your Community Day? Are you looking to get the most EXP on your Community Day? Are you looking to have no friends and just play by yourself because you're so dedicated at getting all the Pokemon that you don't need people? Look no further, we've got the video for you. It's right here. Just stay tuned and listen to all the tips and all the tricks and all the code books and all the guides and all the cool stuff that we're going to talk about in this video to maximize your chances at becoming a no-life Pokemon Go player. Community Day is supposed to be spent with your entire community and not supposed to be played alone. Please do not follow any of the tips in this video. The number one thing is, like, if you have a Go Plus or anything that will help you catch Pokemon, it's usually a good idea to throw it on in the background and let it catch Pokemon alongside of you. The one thing that I learned during Beldum Community Day is the catch rate on Beldum was quite high. So my Go Plus did not do very well. If you can't be there catching the Pokemon physically, definitely prioritize your Go Plus or your Gacha. If you are adamant about catching everything and getting the XP, getting the dust, getting the candies for them, you might want to do it manually. Know your area. Your area is obviously going to be unique to you. If you don't know, there's a small tip that I can show you guys. If you look at these 3 videos that I took, they are all of my house. You can see that in Pokemon Go, it shows nothing but the roads. You can see in the video that there are some Pokemon on the nearby, which is great. But the other 2 videos that you're seeing is actually Ingress. And if you guys didn't know, Ingress is basically the parent game to Pokemon Go. They just got a huge update, which is Ingress Prime, which is the video on the far right. The reason that I had to include that is because as of right now, since they released Ingress Prime, if you are a new player, you cannot create an account unless you are in Ingress Prime. The reason that I include the original Ingress version is because I feel like it's so much easier to explain my point here. What you're seeing in Pokemon Go is literally just the roads. And I think that they did that because they want you to explore anyways. What they didn't tell us, and what we do know now, is that all the little white dots that you see in the center video, the original Ingress, those in Ingress, it's not a big deal. You don't need to know a lot about Ingress. Download the app and use Ingress kind of like as your guide on where to go. All the little white spots that you're seeing are spawn points for Pokemon. You can literally walk into, and you see it's a huge cluster of spawns back there. I have been back there. It's technically a side road, and I don't live down that road, so it's kind of awkward just to go walking down through there. But I can guarantee you there's easily 20 Pokemon that spawn right there every time I've been. You can go to any spot that has plenty of those white dots, or if you're using the new scanner, you can kind of see how it pulsates and it shows the dots at a slower pace and they kind of fade away. I really hate that. You can travel to those areas and you can know that those are going to be spawn point. That is important because if you know where those spots are in your town, then you can guarantee yourself a good cluster spawn on Community Days, meaning that you can maximize your chances at getting shinies on your Community Day. Here we have a picture of the town that I generally play in, Yadkinville. This is, of course, not quite as up-to-date of a map as I would like. A lot of the maps, I could show you the Ingress map, but it's extremely convoluted with a lot of different things that they just don't pertain anything to Pokemon Go. So I feel like this is an easier representation, even though it is a little bit out of date. There are a couple of Pokestops missing. This town is about a 10-minute drive from where I live, so this is where I'm going to be playing tomorrow. I can tell you that this gym right here is accompanied with a Pokestop, and those two together have an insane cluster spawn on them. If I could, I would show you in Ingress the correlation there. There is just a ton of XM, which is what those little white dots are called. So I know every time I go to that particular spot, there's going to be tons of spawns. What I plan on doing for tomorrow is I'm going to look. There is actually a Pokestop that is not on here, that is right here. It has a ton of good spawns right there. It's perfect. It's a great spawn point. These two spots plus this stop right here has, I would say it probably has like 6 or 7 good spawn points. And then this little cluster right here, it's kind of hard to see because they're all kind of so close together. But there's a gym, 2 stops right in kind of like this little circle. So it's a great spawn point. There's usually, you can probably get about 10 spawns out of that. And then, of course, you know, right here in the heart of town, there is a lot of good spawns. I definitely want to hit right back here. Oddly enough, it's behind these 3 stops. None of the stops are like gettable, spinnable from the actual area that the spawns really show up in. But right there is a really, really good spawn point. There's probably another like, I'd want to say like 7 or 8 spawns that happen right there. Another good one is down here. There are, I would say, another 6 or 7 that spawn there as well. And then, of course, this dark green area is our park that is local to us, and it is littered with spawns. Nests or parks that you have near your town are generally the best spots for community days. I did some research about spawns, and based on the information that I found, since the last time this information was really dug up was like 2017 was the last time people have really talked about it. The way that spawns are now working is that they do correlate very heavily with the XM that you saw in Ingress. The spawn points in Pokemon Go, though, are refreshed either every 30 minutes or every 60 minutes. From what I read, there used to be a 15-minute timer, a 30-minute timer, a 45-minute timer, and a 60 timer, and there was probably even more than that. But they've basically reduced them down to either a 30-minute or a 60-minute timer. So that means that if I'm going to go to this park, it's going to take me, it will literally take me 10 minutes to hit all of the good spawn points in that park. Problem with that is, that means I have to sit there for another 20 minutes or another 50 minutes before the next wave of spawns comes through. To capture as many shiny Cyndaquil as we need, or that we want, I really want to maximize that number. So I don't want to just sit there and not do anything for 20 minutes or 50 minutes before the next wave of spawns comes through. So that's where pinpointing these locations comes in. Because if you know that, hey, I'm going to start at the park, it'll take me 10 minutes to get through the park, and then I can go to our next location, and I'll get another 6 or 7 spawns there, and then I'll go to the next location and get another 6 or 7 spawns there. If I hit all of these spots, all 7 of these spots tomorrow, it will take me roughly an hour to hit all 7. And then I can start back over. Maybe traveling to another neighboring town that's really close. It's about another 10-minute drive from Yadkinville. And I can maximize my capture rate. Even though I'm going to be spending 10 minutes on the road not able to catch anything, I would then increase my chances a lot more because there's a cluster of spawns that are just constant. You can literally, you could walk in a circle and it's like, it'd probably take you 5 minutes to walk around that circle, but there's easily like 25 or 30 spawns in that circle. So let's say it takes 10 minutes at the park. Let's say it takes 5 minutes to drive and to capture the next spawn point. Okay, so we have 10 minutes here. Then we have 5 minutes to get to this one. 5 minutes to get to that one. 5 minutes to get to that one. We have 5 to get to that one. 5 to get to this one. 5 to get to this one. And then we have a 10-minute time at our next location. Plus, let's say it takes us 10 minutes to do that. And then to drive back would be another 10. Okay? So we're at 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes just to do inside of Yadkinville. And then another 30 minutes to get to our neighboring town, get everything, and get back. By the time we get back, these spawns at the park should already be reset. That would be over a full 60 minutes before they reset. So, if you really want to maximize it, if you figured out a route in your local town to do 3 times, it takes at least 60 minutes to get through the entire route, and then you can start the route over. You could really maximize the amount of Pokemon that you catch on Community Day. I hope you guys found the information today useful. If you did, cool. If you didn't, alright, whatever. Hopefully you guys have some major fun tomorrow while doing your Community Day efforts. I truly appreciate anybody that's been watching and keeping up with the content lately, and I do hope that I get to see you guys around tomorrow. I challenge anybody. There's going to be the prize of a big goose egg. I have nothing to give. Just for pure fun, let's see who can get the most shinies tomorrow. Just for reference, on Chikorita Community Day, I got 6. Beldum's Community Day, I got 7 Beldum and a Swablu, so I think it was 8. It was either 7 or 8, I can't remember. But I got a full odds Swablu randomly. I challenge anybody to see how many they can catch, and I would love to see pictures of how many you got on Twitter, because it would just be super cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any desire to show me how many shinies you caught tomorrow, let me know on Twitter. I will put the handle on the screen so that you guys can talk to me. It's at AtticusNair, and I don't post very much, but I'm going to start posting AR pictures just because, why not? So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, hit that button. If you like to leave a comment, let me know what you got to say. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow.